Ezra Levant here for Rebel News. As you can see, I'm once again at the Toronto International Airport. I'm headed to London on the overnight flight because tomorrow morning at Westminster Magistrates Court, Tommy Robinson is being prosecuted. You're going to be shocked by this, prosecuted under the Terrorism Act. Now, they're not saying he committed any terrorism. In fact, it's a trick. See, the Terrorism Act of 2000, it's a UK law, has a special provision called Schedule 7. And that provision allows British police to arrest anyone for any reason or no reason coming or going from the UK. So when you land at an airport or a seaport or when you're about to leave, they can snatch you up without any suspicion of anything, without any warrant. They can grab you, detain you, and ask you questions for up to 6 hours. But here's the trick. You're compelled to answer. There's no such thing as the right to remain silent. Under the Terrorism Act, Schedule 7, you must answer any question put to you. Your lawyer can be there, but all your lawyer will do is says, yeah, you got to answer. So Tommy was snatched by police, and the first thing they said to him when they arrested him was, look, we know you're not a terrorist, but we're going to use this law to ask you 6 hours worth of questions. And they did. And their questions were journalistic and political, and his opinions about it was an outrageous abuse. That's Schedule 7. If you're wondering why that's in the law, I call it the ticking time bomb provision. If there's some terrorist act underway, something's about to happen, you need to press someone with questions. You don't have time for the legal system to work. You have 6 hours to grill someone, and they must answer your questions. Obviously, Tommy was not a ticking time bomb suspect. They just grabbed him to grill him about his politics because he was embarrassing Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK. Starmer's done a dozen things to Tommy Robinson, but this is one of the worst. Anyways, Tommy complied, and he answered all the questions put to him. But they can do one more thing under the Terrorism Act. They can demand from you your passwords for your cell phone or other devices. So they can ask you any question they want. You have to answer. Tommy did that. But then they said, Tommy Robinson, give us the password to your smartphone. And he said, no. He said, no, because. No, because I have interviews with victims of Muslim rape gangs. And in the past, those victims, when their names have been known to police, the police have tipped off the racists. In fact, in some incredible cases, the police have been the rapists. So Tommy said to the police, there's no way I'm giving up those recordings to you. There's no way those women would have spoken to me had they thought I would just pass over their stories and identity to the police, which has shown they really don't give a damn about rape victims in these gangs. So Tommy said, no, I'm not going to give you the passcode. That is an offense. So Tommy did nothing wrong. He wasn't arrested for anything. There was no suspicion, no reasonable cause, none of that. He answered questions about his political life for 6 hours, which is an abuse of the law. But when they said, hand over your phone and all the information on it, including, as it was, the identity and the stories of these rape victims, he said no. And so they charged him with that crime of saying no to them. And that's what's on trial tomorrow and possibly Tuesday. I'm going to be in the court first thing. I'm flying overnight. I'll get to the court on time. And I'm a very fast typist, so I'm going to live tweet the proceedings as I have before. And the reason I come all the way from the UK to do it is, first of all, I want to show support for Tommy. He's an old friend. But more importantly, I just don't trust the regime journalists. Do you? I've sat in those courtrooms covering Tommy probably 20 times before, and I'm sitting in the same room as The Guardian and the BBC and ITV and Channel 4 and whoever it is. And when we get out of there, I look at what I wrote and I see what they wrote, and I think, were we even in the same trial? I regret to say, even most journalists in the UK who are sympathetic to Tommy, or at least even-handed, they are commanded by their editors or publishers to attack the guy, to try to discredit him. I'm not saying all. There are more and more citizen journalists, and I think GB News gives Tommy a fair shake, but I think I just listed all the people who do. So I believe that by going there and making videos from the courthouse steps and live tweeting the proceedings and doing what I can to tell the other side of the story, I can counteract the regime media. What worries me is that this is not a jury trial, it's judge alone. And I've seen too many judges in the UK just be full on political. Remember, these are the judges who sentenced Lucy Connolly to 31 months in prison for a mean tweet, 31 months in prison. And I'm worried that they're going to take a technicality like Tommy not wanting to give his cell phone PIN number to the cops and use that as an opportunity to convict him and jail him. And Tommy's got a lot going on, whether it's rallies like his big September 13th rally or his looming trip to Israel. So I'm worried about that. Anyways, I'm about to hop on the plane. Wish me luck. If you could help me cover the economy class airfare, and I'm staying at a very low cost hotel right near the court, please do. You can do that at tommytrial.com. Unlike the BBC or other state broadcasters, obviously I don't get a dime in public money. It's all user sponsored. So if you can help me out, please go to tommytrial.com. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope I catch a few hours sleep on the plane.